Welcome to The Gorgeous Effect, the podcast that's about to rock your marketing world. I'm Julie Chenell, and with my co-founder, Cathy Olson, we're the masterminds behind Funnel Gorgeous and FG Funnels. We're about to drop some serious tea on how to create funnels that not only look amazing, but actually convert into customers. We'll chat mouth-watering offers, copy, design, and give you an inside look of some of our best and worst funnels. No smoke and mirrors, just real strategies that work from two ladies who have been around the funnel block. So grab your coffee or something stronger, we won't judge, and get ready to unleash the gorgeous effect on your business. It's time to show the world what you've got. Let's do this. Hey everyone, Julie and Cathy here. We're back with another episode of The Gorgeous Effect. Today we're going to decide who's the boss, Julie or Cathy.
Oh, wow. Just came out guns blazing. I mean, we all know the answer to that, but
I thought that would be a funny way to open it. Like, all right, but we're actually not going to talk about whether Julie or Cathy are the boss, but we are going to talk about one of our most well-loved teaching topics that we cover pretty extensively in FG Society. We're going to give you a little tidbit today, and it's all about the competition between copy and design. And I'm a copywriter and Cathy is a designer. And so the question for funnel builders, the people that are going into FG funnels and they're building sales pages is what's more important, copy or design? It's a age-old argument, and we're going to tackle it today.
I feel like we're going to ruffle some feathers because, well, I guess it depends on which side you're on. If you're team design or team copy and marketing, sales and marketing. But this is a problem in the whole of marketing world, not just with funnels, but I think specifically with funnels, design gets such a bad rap. And it's, why we thrived, actually. I think we connect with people who do love design. So we're probably preaching to the choir, but there are a lot of people who think that design doesn't matter. And I'm here to tell you that it does matter. And
You're wrong.
I'll just say, I come from the design world. I went to school for design. So like we were taught that design was like the most important thing ever, of course, because we're, trying to make money. But it's the billionaire brands know that both matter. And so you'll never see, Coca-Cola or whatever put something out that's ugly. It's just so I think the real businesses who operate on these bigger systems understand that they're both important, and they do put equal priority on both, and advertising agencies know this and all that stuff. So it's funny that we're even debating it, but I do think that there's also, when you are a small business and you're not a $1 billion business, you do kind of have to choose sometimes. It's not always going to be great design and great copy. And so like in those situations, now who's the boss? We kind of have to decide.
So one way that I like to describe the relationship between copy and design, we're kind of putting them at odds with each other today in jest, because the truth is they're like best buds and they work in tandem. But copy is you communicating to the customer about your offer and the problem you solve. Design, a good page is going to make that copy more understandable. And it's going to communicate when they should pay more attention, when they should take a breath, when they should, laugh a little. And the design is going to either make the copy easier to read, or it's going to make the copy harder to read. Obviously, that's really bad. I looked at a funnel the other day. I was like, oh my goodness, like there's like neutral design, like a white page and, text. There's no design. And then there's design that actually impedes the customer's ability to read and comprehend what's going on the page. So
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you after all these years that you finally have like honed your design. I know you had it before, I think, but I think sometimes, and maybe some other people that we teach too, like it's like you have this eye for it. You kind of know that something's wrong, but you're not sure what. And so that's why it's so helpful to learn it within all the programs we teach, Launch Gorgeous, FG Society, like literally everything that we teach, right? to kind of understand what to do, because it's like there's like this weird, you like just feel like something's wrong, but you're not sure what to do because the muscle isn't strong. It's funny, we had a meeting today and Nuno on our team called something ugly, and I said, man, if Nuno says it's ugly, then like we rubbed off on him, because he obviously comes from the world of like not design, very techie minded person if you don't know him. So it's interesting to kind of once you understand it, you can't unsee it.
You can't
But it's
unsee it.
difficult if you're not a graphic designer to know what to do. I see that's like the biggest frustration, don't you think? Is kind of that
Yeah.
like dissonance of like, oh, there's something wrong with it, but I don't know what to do.
Yeah. So that is where we kind of switch into teaching these two skills. So FG Society is our premier funnel building certification, and we teach offer creation, design, and copy. The three core skills that you need to build profitable funnels and online businesses. And so obviously, Cathy teaches the design, I teach the copy. Well, teaching these skills, I'm going to have to concede that teaching design is harder than teaching copy after years and years of this. When I have a brand new person coming to me, I'm reasonably certain I can teach them how to become an expert copywriter. But usually, the best I can do is help them become a good mimicker of design, not necessarily an original designer. But the good news is that you don't have to be an original designer in order to understand the principles of design and have amazing looking funnels. And that is the reason that Funnel Gorgeous blew up, because we told people and we taught people some basic design principles that Cathy explains. And then you can't, like she said, you can't unsee it. Then we gave you amazingly professionally designed templates that you don't have to start from scratch, that you can still customize. And we were able to teach people so many skills of design without going to design school, without becoming an original designer, that you could now have great design and great copy. And then you tack on the great offer, and now you have a converting funnel. But we did learn something that we want to share with you now. This is kind of tactical, but we've established that neither one of us are the boss and that copy and design work together. But when it comes to actually designing a funnel, we realized that either copy or design had to be the boss if you're an amateur. So why don't you start and talk about when design is the boss?
Yeah. I feel like people are constantly apologizing to me for not being a designer. So if you're feeling like that right now, like understand you're normal, because you don't use design in regular life. You do use communication and copy in regular life. So which is why it feels easier, because you use it, right? It's just like anything, like a muscle. And so we talk about using these templates because it's developing that muscle of you starting to use design in your regular life. So eventually you'll be like, a force to be reckoned with, but you got to start somewhere because you're just not used to this. You don't use it. So we really talk about if you are that person who does feel weaker in design, you don't use it in regular life, but you obviously communicate, so you use copy in real life, to really let the design be the boss, because it will make your job so much easier when you build things within a template and you kind of just leave things the way they are and they don't break. Then you don't have to make decisions. Which I guess
Right.
I would say the same thing about copy, right? Like, if you're really bad at copy, if you just followed a template, then you wouldn't have to make decisions, right? So it's just the same idea of the less customization you do to it, the less you're going to have to fix it and or make decisions. Design's all about making decisions. So you want to make at the least amount of design decisions as possible. And then that way you don't have to worry about messing them up, or, because then you'll get that weird dissonance feeling of like there's something wrong. But if you won't have that feeling if you let design be the boss. So we say for people who are not as strong in design and or you don't know what to do, maybe you see it but you're not really sure how to tweak it, then just leave it and use the sections. You can move the sections around, so you don't have to keep things in perfect order. I would say design is one of those things that you can kind of break out sections in like in a modular way. Just leave them within the section. So for example, if you have a section, you see there's bullet points on the left and there's an image on the right, leave the bullet points on the left and leave the image on the right, and try to make the bullet points be similar in copy length because when you get really long and stuff, that starts to break things too. So you want to keep things overall in a section the same, but within that section, you can duplicate it as many times as you want. You could have 5 of those sections, maybe not next to each other,
Yeah.
but and you can move them around if it needs to get moved up higher in the page. That's totally fine. It's not. The design is meant to, fill a space. It's like a room that you're putting, there's already furniture in it and you're just going to kind of add things to it and you leave things where they go, but you can move, the room in different positions. You don't have to, the order doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, when you are not a professional designer and you use one of our templates, which by the way have been designed as templates, we design them as templates to be easy to use. Sometimes when you get templates from other people, they're not actually templates. They're just like copies of other people's funnels and they're all like tricked out. So our templates are especially easy to use. And like Cathy said, if you see your template that you've got on your builder and it's got a 2-line headline, design is the boss. Design is saying that's a 2-line headline, which means copy has to submit to it. So write a 2-line headline. Don't write a 3-line headline. Don't write a 1-line headline, right? Let the design boss the copy around about what goes where.
Because I
So,
would say because of balance. So I just want to explain why. So the reason why they're designed the way they are is because they are perfectly balanced. So if you take a 2-line and you add 4 lines or 6 lines or 10 lines, now it's off balance and you're going to have to fix the balance. So if you
yes.
don't want to fix the design balance, you leave it balanced.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Okay. So what does it look like if copy is the boss? Now, if copy is the boss, this usually indicates that you have professional design skills or a professional designer in your pocket, which might feel a little counterintuitive. You're like, copy's the boss? Well, I don't get it. Here's why. If copy is the boss, then that means you're writing a sales page and you are just pouring it out on that doc and you are just telling all the stories that you need to tell to get the conversion. Now a designer is going to have to make that copy look good and have to design around the copy. So it's a 4-line headline, let's say, which don't do that. But let's just say it's the most amazing 4-line headline in the world. Well, now the designer is going to have to figure out how to create a great look on that hero section with a 4-line headline. And so the designer is going to have to submit to the copy and be like, well, it's 4 lines. So now I have to build something. And so professional designers, original designers, people that are really adept at customizing templates, you can let the copy be the boss if you're willing to mess with a template or start from scratch. But if you're not, then design has to be the boss and you need to get a template that's already balanced, already designed, and then make as few decisions as possible. And it makes a huge difference. I mean, this is how we get 20 gorgeous funnels by students who've never touched tech before, and they get it out the door because we teach these principles in our coaching program, in our certification program. And like Cathy said, once you see it, you can never unsee it again. Like you will never look at funnels the same way again once you've been taught.
Well, I don't want to scare people, but I will say that a lot of graphic designers are not taught how to sell things through graphic design. And we're really taught how to make things pretty. And we are taught about avatars and, like ideal clients and stuff like that. And as far as the look is concerned, but specifically on a sales page, we are not taught about sales principles. And so you you will have to act like the director in that way. Like you'll have to explain to them what the copy is trying to do. Because if you have a designer who's just like a straight designer who's not used to this, or if you're the designer yourself, you are going to have to think through those things, which might talk you into letting design be the boss. But so everything that Julie just said, like with a headline, a normal graphic designer would just be like, okay, I have a copy, I have a block of copy, it needs to go somewhere. And they'll just throw it anywhere, right? They'll make it too small to read. They'll maybe make something important that's not important because to them it's just ingredients. I have some salt, I have some this, I'm just going to throw it in. And they don't know, no, you need a little bit of salt and you need a lot of this, right? So they don't think about the proportion of the messaging, right? If that makes sense. So a normal designer won't know what to emphasize or not to emphasize. So I just want to tell you guys, again, I'm sure I just scared everybody, but I say this to say that you're going to have to kind of come in on that and you're going to have to explain it to them. Like, no, this is actually, I want this part highlighted because this is the more important part. Or, hey, can we bold this section? Can we make this section a little bit bigger? So either way, it helps to learn about the design, even if you aren't the one doing the design, because they might not, the person that you have on your team or whoever you have in your back pocket might not understand the nuance of the messaging that you sell. This is actually a really cool thing that Julie and I do is we do copy first. That's actually the way we do it because we have an
We do
amazing
it because we
copywriter.
have a
Yeah,
professional
we have a
designer.
good copy. Yeah. But Julie still does in the document that she gives me, she will bold things, she'll make things bigger. Like she's not really making design decisions. She's kind of telling me what's important. And so I would say that as a tactical thing for you guys to do, if you're giving your copy to a designer, show them things that are bigger, that are more important, show them, put things in bullet points, right? When you think that like it's maybe like a wall of text and you need it to be understandable, put things in grids. She puts things in little grids all the time, like using tables and stuff and like on a Google Doc so that they can understand what the messaging is and then they can design accordingly.
Yeah. So as it turns out, neither one of us are the boss. We are equal. But when you go to build, think about this next time you go to build. Am I a professional designer? No. Okay, so design is the boss. Grab one of our templates, become part of FG Funnels community, let Cathy's design do the work so that you don't have to. And if you are a professional designer, then you get to have copy and let copy be the boss. But either way, they both work together. You need both. Anyone who tells you you don't is lying. Plain and simple. So I hope that helped. And as always, we'd love it if you would leave a review. Tag us on Instagram at Funnel Gorgeous, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We're just getting started with this podcast, and we're so excited to have you on this journey with us. If you found value in today's episode, we'd be over the moon if you'd consider subscribing. It's like a virtual high five that keeps us going. And hey, if you're feeling extra gorgeous, leaving a review would mean the world to us. Your words not only make our day, but it also helps other amazing folks just like you find our show through your review. Lastly, if you know someone who could use a little sales pep talk, why not spread the love? Share this episode and let's grow this gorgeous community together.